From the Flock of Birds production studio, it's time for the Mountaineer Ramble with your hosts, John Covey Cole, Michael Covey, and Jack Kincaid. Now, let's join the guys and talk Mountaineer football.
Maybe this is that shot. Going to go deep down the right sideline for White, who makes the over-the-shoulder grab and gets into the end zone for the score.
I wasn't on the headset, but I saw it coming. You can't just take 2-3 yards so many times. They were definitely setting something up, and just a great play design, great throw, great catch by White.
Shell now empties the set. Howard looking, floats over the middle, complete to Shorts, banged right at midfield, but hangs on and picks up the first down for the Mountaineers. Howard back, looking, going to float one deep, has a man down there. It's Gibson, hits him in stride, and Gibson into the end zone for the touchdown. 54 yards for the Mountaineers. Howard back, looking, throwing over the middle, complete. And to give to Shell off the right side. Shell finds a crease. Shell bangs forward out to the 25. 24 sacks in his last 24 games. Now going deep for Shelton Gibson in stride. Beautiful throw and catch. Same power look. They'll throw, fade, end zone. Shorts with the grab, and Shorts is in for the score. Flag on the play. It won't matter as DeKeel Shorts, a terrific grab in the corner of the end zone. Youngstown State showing pressure. They'll give to McCoy, who finds a crease. Kennedy McCoy, and McCoy inside the 40 and down to the 38-yard. McCoy going in motion. Fake. Howard wants to go deep. He's got a man out there. It's Gibson. Floated. Gibson, the grab. Gibson, the touchdown for the Mountaineers. Oh, boy. What a beautifully designed play. Touchdown pass. And that is the first touchdown for the freshman, Kennedy McCoy.
There you have it, guys. Week 2 in the books. Youngstown State goes down. Skylar Howard goes off, in my opinion.
Blast of Ricky won.
He did.
Hey, our opinion, it counts for some. Thank you, growing fan base. But Dana Holgerson is a much tougher opinion this way.
Yeah,
and
he wants to see more. He was not very impressed.
He did give a game ball to Mr. Howard, and the first, I believe, in his career. So just a little breakdown. Completed 62.3% of his past attempts, averaging about 9.4 yards per attempt this season. So
not too bad at all. The game alone, he went 20 for 33, 389 yards, 5 touchdowns, tying his career record in Morgantown. You know, he had 5 touchdowns against Arizona State in that bowl game last season. Threw an interception, but that was kind of, I'm not going to say it wasn't his fault, but it happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Luckily,
it's just not throw interceptions.
Luckily, we were playing Youngstown State, and it didn't affect us too bad.
Yeah. True. A lot of that, you got to give a lot of credit to the line. Kind of playing out of their minds, especially with the injuries, some of the hijinks that happened early on in the season.
Sorry, excuse me.
Love you, Adam. Love you, boy. But the line's not giving up a sack in 2 games, so that's impressive.
That is impressive. Here's an interesting stat for you that I read the other day. West Virginia is the only team that's played 2 games this season thus far that has had 12 20-plus yard passes without a sack. I mean, I know Missouri, Youngstown State.
I'll take it.
But I'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take it.
I mean, you got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, sure. Well, a good thing for a quarterback like Howard that has to overcome the height issue is giving him time. Time leads to poise.
Give me time.
Sure. I was going to say.
Just saying.
I was going to say in the Army, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. So that can translate into quarterback talk is good job.
Skylar Howard was named the Davy O'Brien Award for Grade 8 quarterback this week, and he was also named Earl Campbell Tyler Rose Award for the National Player of the Week. So
Good things.
Good things, man.
Good things.
He's coming along. You just keep it up, young man.
Yeah, keep it up in a couple weeks. We're gonna need it.
It's you know, we're not gonna talk about it much this week. We'll touch more on it next week. But we got BYU in a couple weeks, and I think it's gonna be an interesting game. Hopefully, Dana's got all the kinks out by then.
Yeah.
He's got a couple weeks of practice.
Somebody's got to go to Washington and win a football game.
Exactly.
Somebody has to.
Yeah.
You know, Russell Shell ran the ball 16 times for 84 yards. Justin Crawford only 12 times for 40 yards. Kennedy McCoy even got to run the ball 3 times, 34 yards. I'm loving how all these guys. We had 7 rushers altogether. I didn't write all the guys down because some of them was just 1, 2 rushes. But I'm loving that Dana's getting the ball around.
Spreading it around.
He gives it to Eli again a little bit for a couple plays.
I liked a few years ago we had a 3-headed monster. You know, if that wants to be a 7-headed monster,
Yeah.
I like greedy backs.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yes.
Receivers plumb well off this week.
Hell.
Shelton Gibson, 6 receptions, 171 yards.
2 TDs.
2 touchdowns.
Not bad.
57 was the long. 6, take that into perspective. 6 receptions for 171 yards.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly what Dana said was going to happen, happened. He said that Missouri was bringing their safeties back. We couldn't get that deep ball. Youngstown State was probably going to bring more pressure, and they did.
Oh,
What happened?
right over the top.
We beat them over the top. But how about Kennedy McCoy with first touchdown of the year? You know, that little screen floater pass?
Yeah.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Real McCoy?
That was the real McCoy. DeKill Shorts had 6 receptions, 93 yards. Karan White had 5 receptions for 88 yards. So they're getting the ball around, and those 2 guys also had a touchdown.
Yeah, Shelton out there. I thought that was Tavon for a minute out there wearing that number 1.
Well, I wouldn't go
Hey,
that far.
you
but it
got
was-
to break it down. I mean, look, this isn't a game that anybody's going to go back and be wowed by.
Yeah.
You know, we're looking at we ran on Youngstown 46 times, stacked up about 136 yards. But in that, you know, speaking back to core and how well the line is playing right now, we've only got 1 play back for a loss in the game. So small things, small plateaus, that's good. You know, again, not giving up a sack in the first 2 games, you know, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. And you can say what you want about Youngstown State. You mentioned it earlier, though. Bo Planey brought some kids with him. You know,
From Nebraska.
Florida State. A lot of Power 5 teams.
Oh, yeah.
Players decided to transfer to Ohio. And
When you got Jim Truss on Bo Pelini in your program, you're going to get some
And a
pretty
bunch of
good
misfit
football.
toys, you're going to get some angry ball players. Nothing against Youngstown, you know.
Billy Kenny, he's killing the ball back there when we need him. He only had to punt the ball 4 times, but he was averaging about 50 yards a punt. There was one time he had him pinned on like the 2-yard line. It was beautiful. Mike Molina went 1 for 2 with his field goals. That one was disgusting. I don't know, laces out, kid, or something. I don't know what happened there, but it was ugly. So that being said, last week I kind of humored the idea of keeping him on. Joshy, come on back, buddy. Come on back.
Get your act together.
We're about to
Come
get
on.
deep here. You know, I think he's out 1 or 2 more games.
2 more, I believe.
Hopefully he'll be back by the time we play Kansas State and start the Big 12.
I mean, do we
conference games.
particularly need to do 4-game suspensions? I personally say no.
Well, I think that kid from LSU that cold-cocked that other kid from
let me correct you, sir. Crackback.
Crackback.
That kid.
Crackback.
Apologize.
Crackback from Didn't Shack.
Little self-play
But he
there.
should have a couple 3 or 4 games in my
3 or
opinion.
4. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
It's
I,
a punishment,
I don't even know what
yeah,
Lambert
man.
done. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know what he did.
I don't want to know what he did.
Let's come back and kick
I don't
the
care.
ball, man.
Keep that down south.
Come kick. Come
The
kick.
defense was.
I'm guessing if we were a little bit farther down the road south in a certain conference, he probably would be back by now.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just saying.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to argue that. You will not hear me argue that. The defense, Rasul Douglas, 11 tackles. Al Rashid Benton, 7 tackles and an interception. Jared Harper, 6 tackles. Jeremy Tyler, 5 tackles. There's a bunch of tackles. I'm just naming off a few guys that really stood out in my mind. Jeremy Tyler hit this kid from Youngstown State. I don't remember who it was, but he was trying to catch the ball and Tyler came out of nowhere and lit him up. I felt like it was Joseph there for a second. I was like, ooh, get him, boy. But, you know, they did run the ball for 193 yards against us, passed for 212, which, you know, some of that was in the 4th quarter. You know, once Dana gets the William Cresses of the world in there.
Things will happen.
He was a lot more comfortable this week, it
Yeah.
seemed like. I'd say Dana had a nice long talk with him. That pretty much sums up the game, in my opinion, guys. Is there anything I'm missing that I'm not talking about there?
You pretty much touched base on just about everything. Wasn't pretty, but we got the W.
Now we're off for a week, and then we come back with BYU. But there's Big 12 games start this week. But before we get to that, we'll talk a little bit about the rest of the Big 12 scores from last week. UTEP got mowed down by Charlie Strong in Texas, which I expected that to happen anyway. That didn't surprise me. Oklahoma, I figured they'd be hungry after what happened to them. 59-17 against Louisiana Monroe. This one kind of surprised me, honestly. Arkansas beat TCU in double overtime, 41-38. So there's Oklahoma's lost. TCU's lost.
Well, TCU is not who I thought they was.
No, they surprised me too.
That's improving.
Iowa mowed down Iowa State 42-3.
Yeah, they've been doing that.
Ohio beat Kansas 37-21. You know how we was joking about Rhode Island last week?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess Ohio is another Rhode Island because that. I don't ever expect Kansas to do good, but where they're in the Big 12, I'd like to see them win a couple games.
Like to see them prosper here and there.
They get to us.
I'll be honest, out.
I'll be honest with you, two amigos. I'm not losing sleep about this.
No, it'll be okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Texas Tech got beat 55-68 to Arizona State, which didn't surprise me. Arizona State always has a pretty good team, but
we sure made them look like a good team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It wasn't quite making them look as good as Clemson, but we made them. There's that. And then Central Michigan won against Oklahoma State 30-27. We'll talk more about that later. But the way I'm looking at it, guys, all the big teams, Oklahoma State's, Texas Tech's, Baylor's still winning. TCU lost. Oklahoma lost. I'm sorry, the way I'm looking at it right now, why not put us at the top of the Big 12?
That's wide open.
That's wide open, but
we'll beat the Cougars in a week or so.
But it's always been ours for the taking.
I did see where nobody give us a vote for the top 25 AP poll this week.
I'm good with that. Our schedule's set, and whether we're bottom of the list, for 8 games this season, 10 games this season, we'll get it in the bowl game. We'll be ranked up, and then it'll mean nothing because we'll be going against a team we don't know.
Right. Yep. Fortunately for these Oklahomas, TCUs, Oklahoma States, they're losing early enough in the season. So, depending on what happens, it's not looking good for the Big 12 in the Final Four this year so far, in my opinion. I mean, still got a long way to go. Hopefully, we can go in, mow everybody else down, and then there won't be no talk at all.
I don't really know of 2 teams in any other power conference that are locks right now.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
Alabama.
It's the second game of the season.
True. It is early.
It's not time for locks.
No.
I mean, I like locks, especially a little bagel, a little cream cheese, but,
How you doing?
Hey.
Some of the games coming on this weekend in the Big 12, you got Iowa State versus TCU, the first Big 12 game of the season, conference game. You got Baylor and Rice, which Baylor shouldn't have no trouble, but you never know. Texas goes out to California. Might be a good game. Might get to see how good Charlie Strong has them boys coached up. Don't know. You got Pitt versus Oklahoma State. Man, why do they get to play Pitt and we don't?
Keep other conferences together, so conferences are
one of the big games I'm most excited about this weekend, since our boys ain't playing. Ohio State is going to Oklahoma, and I'm anxious to see how that's going to go. I mean, I'm one who has felt Ohio State's been overrated for a long time. But
you mean a team that was in relative disarray, and then magically a coach that had been not coaching for 2 years who did nothing but talk to recruits comes back.
Hey, it's Ohio State. I mean, you could argue the same thing with Texas. Texas comes back. Charlie Strong wins a couple games. They're ranked number 11th in the country. Really? It's exactly
I'm
what
just going to do this.
That's exactly what
you
it
guys
is.
make up your own mind.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, Texas has got a little bit of
Just a
Yeah,
touch.
just a little bit of it.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, that's a little bit of what happened this week in the Big 12 and what's going to happen this week as well. But we're going to go ahead and take a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back.
The Mountaineer Ramble, sponsored in part by El Mariachi, Mexican restaurant and cantina on Airport Road in Beaver. Open 7 days a week, offering a mouth-watering array of delicious Mexican cuisine. Stop by and see Jay and Jose, and you'll see for yourself why El Mariachi was voted the best Mexican restaurant in southern West Virginia. El Mariachi will spice up your day.
So on Saturday, Kyle Davis for Auburn had me thinking Odell Beckham done suited up for the Auburn Tigers with what very well could be one of the best one-handed catches I've seen. Traffic, hold it down between two defenders. So take a look at my fun bits of the week.
Tell you what, that was a sick play, wasn't it?
It was.
I don't know if it was quite a
Pretty
fun
nice.
bit material, but it was pretty good.
I mean,
had fun. I
it's
had fun.
mentionable for sure.
Yeah, it was a tough week. There's a lot of crazy plays out there. Great choice, my friend. Great choice. Hopefully we can have. I'm hoping that we can work our way into
Mikey's fun bits.
Mikey's fun
Yeah.
bits this season.
I look forward to it.
That's,
Yeah,
something
you
I never
guys,
thought, that's something I never thought I'd say. Is I hope that we can work our way into Mikey's fun bits.
Sure. But any of
What
those
would you say, what do you
guys
think?
we mentioned earlier, receivers, if you want to make a phenomenal one-handed catch,
Yeah.
don't let us stand in your
No,
way.
go ahead.
Or Crawford,
Force a
Shell,
strong in you,
McCoy.
boy.
Boy, you had a 60-yard run.
Yeah,
do a little
go on
spin,
and do
flip,
that.
jump over somebody.
Go for 8 touchdowns.
Pull
Next
Jock
year.
Sanders.
Yeah.
But anyway, more what's going on with the Mountaineers. I read earlier today that the women's soccer team is ranked number 1 in the nation. Congratulations, women.
Mm-hmm.
Way to go. If you're up there after a game, check it out. I haven't been yet this season, but generally you can get into Dick DeLess Stadium in the afternoon on Sunday for $5. It's a great $5. It's a great view. Go enjoy yourselves and support our girls.
And speaking of support, and I just also read today, ironically, that the WVU rifle team is preseason ranked number 1. And why shouldn't they be? We got Jenny Thrasher on the team.
Olympians and just gold medals and just preseason
Why not?
number 1. Come on.
Don't say anything, but I think they've still got that team shooting for their dinner.
Oh, yeah.
That's a southern thing for our northern fans, but yeah, that motivation.
Grant Wiley, guys. Remember him?
Oh, yeah.
He went into the WVU Hall of Fame this past weekend, which I thought is well deserved.
It's awesome. Congratulations, Grant.
Yes, sir. But anyway, that's a little bit about what else is going on in Morgantown right now. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break, come back with Crackback Jack's Disappointment of the Week.
The Mountaineer Ramble, sponsored in part by El Mariachi, Mexican restaurant and cantina on Airport Road in Beaver. Open 7 days a week, offering a mouth-watering array of delicious Mexican cuisine. Stop by and see Jay and Jose, and you'll see for yourself why El Mariachi was voted the best Mexican restaurant in southern West Virginia. El Mariachi will spice up your day.
All right. Now time for Crackback Jack's Disappointment of the Week. Extra Down leads to Central Michigan's upset win of then-ranked number 20 Oklahoma State this weekend. I don't think they're going to be ranked that high anymore. Intentional grounding was a call that should have been the end of the game for Oklahoma State by current chapter and verse of our code of rules that everyone, especially these panelists here, know so very well. Unfortunately, what happened was a handover untimed down to Central Michigan. At that point, Central Michigan's quarterback, Cooper Rush, took charge of the game with the ball in the 49. He launches a Hail Mary in the truest sense of the words that lands in the hands of receiver Jesse Kroll right about the 7.5-yard line. Jesse Kroll and Corey Willis hook up for a hook and ladder that ends in a resulting touchdown, which really wasn't a gimme either. Both receivers worked really hard, and an excellent play that probably should have gone over to Mikey's Fun Bits of the Week, but there's a very, very more deeper lesson to be had here, and we'll use that as the disappointment of the week. So, once again, hook and ladder, upset victory, down goes Frazier.
On 4th and 13, just throwing it up. That'll do it. It wasn't easy, but it
intentional grounding. Number 2 was still in the pocket, and there was no receiver in the area. That's a loss of down foul at the spot of the foul, and there will be one untimed down.
Wow.
First down, Central Michigan.
You can't just throw it up. I get essentially by the goal line. Rush, stepping up, throwing to Kroll, catches the lateral. Here comes Willis. Willis racing to the end zone. Touchdown! Unbelievable! Central Michigan does it!
So there you have it, folks. Bad call on the field can impact any game. Anybody that's ever played the game knows you have to play hard enough that you get by the bad calls. The disappointment of the week comes from the fact that we have instant replay now in basically all phases of the game. I think even the rich midget leagues have it now.
Pee-wee.
Pee-wee, sorry. Right, Pop Warner. Yeah. The fact is, you had a bad call on the field that should have got overturned by the replay, because back officials that were on the field, they'll get suspended. The Big 12 officials in the booth will get suspended. Suspensions are great. I don't think that's going to satisfy Okie State.
Nah.
Check out this for a scenario. Say they, heaven forbid they don't, but say they beat everybody in the Big 12 this year. They're the Big 12 champions.
Right.
If you're voting, do you not put them in the Final Four because of that loss that should have never happened?
Well, and there's something to be said there, and the fact is,
it should have been that close with Central Michigan anyway.
Right,
opinion.
sure, and it probably won't come up. No knock to Okie State. I mean, half the time they've got kryptonite for us, but the fact is, you've got this replay institution now that is taking up game time. It's killing the momentum of the game. You saw another example last night on the pro side. I'm not going to bring it up and get into it. I'm obviously salty about it. But you see a catch, you see a move, you see a great angle for the booth to review, and still a screw up. So why are we still using this as some kind of viable option in officiating? If a ground crew screws it up, that's human error. That doesn't take away from
things happen.
Things
happen. I understand things happen, but like you said, over 2, boys. I mean, you guys missed it on the field.
Yeah.
Okay, it happens. Yeah. Everybody's human, but then we go to review, and
that's an excuse.
They still don't do it the right way. I mean, it's very, very disappointing for Mike Gundy and Okie State. Obviously, I'm not huge fans of them, but I hate to see anybody get cheated out of a win like that.
No, don't want to see anyone get cheated.
But
I will be rooting for them this week. That's for sure.
Now, who they got this week?
Oklahoma State.
Oh yeah, they got Pitt this week.
Yeah.
That will be.
Cowboys, I guess. Come on.
We're going to go now actually to Chris Meadows for the High School Ramble of the Week. See what's going on with the high school teams here in southern West Virginia. Take it away, Chris.
Hi everyone, welcome to the High School Roundup. It is week 4, but as always, we want to give you what happened in week 3 before we start to look ahead. In AAA, Princeton was shut out by Martinsburg 60-0, but that isn't really a surprise as Martinsburg has scored a bunch of points on everyone this season. Number 7, Midland Trail was beaten by Huntington, and in what looks like Class AAA is going to be a 3-man race this year between Martinsburg, Morgantown, and Huntington. But don't count any of these MSAC schools out. It is a tough division, and come playoff time, they generally show that they play in a really tough division. Also in Class AAA, Greenbrier East is 2-1, while Woodrow notched their first win of the season over Bluefield. I would have never thought the Beavers would be 0-3, well, ever. That leads us to AA as Bridgeport continues to dominate. Mingo Central's 3-0, and Herbert Hoover has actually made it home to play on their home field. That is awesome considering that the community was underwater 12 weeks ago. The Huskies are undefeated, by the way, and good on them. Now, James Monroe, they took a tight game into the 4th with Independence before they blew the doors open and ended up getting the victory. Liberty Raleigh scored 32 on Pikeview to get to 2-1, and my Nicholas County Grizzlies defeated my home county school, Wyoming East, 35-0, and in the Homeboy Hall of Fame is my man Carter Siebert Sweeney. He had 3 touchdowns last week. That gives him 7 in the last 2 games. That's more than I had in my whole high school career. In Single A, Summers County whipped Shady Spring 55-12, and in a Fayette County battle between Midland Trail and Meadow Bridge, Midland Trail came out ahead. Fayette County beat Richwood, and Sherman defeated Valley Fayette. Now, to week 4. The big-time AAA game is Riverside at South Charleston as both teams are ranked. Princeton hosts Lincoln County, and in AA, James Monroe hosts Pikeview. Folks, they're number 1 in the WVSSAC poll. Summers County visits Wyoming East. Shady and Independence battle in Shady, and of course my 10th-ranked Nicholas County Grizzlies host Roane County in a Thursday night tilt. You can listen to that on 105 WKQV or 105KQV.com. In Single A, Richwood travels to Midland Trail, and the top game will be Wheeling Central in Williamstown, and there may not be a West Virginia plate in the parking lot. I'm not saying that these teams recruit, but they recruit. Folks, that's it for me. Catch me next week on the High School Ramble.
Thank you very much, Chris. We really appreciate that, man. It's good to know what's going on with our boys here in the state. Hopefully some of those guys coming up will actually commit and come to WVU instead of going elsewhere. That's
Get the point.
Yeah, take notes, youngins.
Yeah.
But anyway, we had a trivia question last week, Jack, and we actually have a winner.
Yeah, it was who did Youngstown State play in the 1994 NCAA AA championship, and where did they play? So the answer was Boise State, and they played at then named Marshall Stadium,
which is in Huntington.
It is.
And our winner was John Bragg, coincidentally. I know that guy pretty well. Used to play in a band with him, but he's been watching our show. Thank you, sir. Appreciate the love there. And for your troubles, we're going to give you a Mountaineer Ramble t-shirt.
Oh, hey.
And thank you very much for watching. So there you have it, guys. Mountaineers 2-0. Good start to the season. But sadly, it was we had a very unfortunate situation in the football community. Jack, why don't you go ahead and share that with them?
Thanks. U.S. Military Academy Cadet Brandon Jackson, class of 2019, was lost to us early Sunday morning in a single car accident. Jackson was a standout football player for Army who contributed significantly to the Black Knights going 2-0 in their first 2 games for the first time in 20 years. To you, sir, my brother, I'd like to just read this part from the alma mater. and share this with the West Virginia football community. And when our work is done, our course on earth is run, may it be said, well done, be thou at peace.
Guys, you never know how long on this earth you had. Tell the ones you love them. You don't know how long you will have to ramble on. So make sure the people around know how much they mean to you. Guys, I hate to leave it on such a down note this week, but I felt like we needed to say something. Jack, thank you for your kind words.
It's something I'm privileged to be a part of, even in just a small part. And as I say to all the military brethren I have, see you on the other side. And made me think a lot about some people I've lost, and I look forward to seeing you guys and gals. See you soon.
Anyway, guys, have a good week. Tell the ones you love them. Michael Covey, Jack Kincaid, I'm John Covey Cole. Until next week, ramble on.
Sing my song. I'm going around the world. I gotta find my girl on my way. I've been this way 10 years till the day. Ramble on. I found the queen of all my dreams. Got no time for spreading news. The time has come to be gone. And though our health we drank 1,000 times, time to ramble on.